Hey folks, how are you all doing?
Hi, everybody.
And welcome to Sean.
Hello.
Long,
Good to see
yeah,
you, Nick.
yeah,
Been a while.
long time no see. And we talked the other night on Dali's, was it? Dali's
Yes.
1 year sober stream, and because you are covering one trial with. Which is interesting. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's one way to put it. It's one way
Yeah.
to put it. It's very interesting.
And so am I. It's been an interesting 9 days of trial so far. Let's just say that.
Mhm.
But let's start with the generality about the Uvalde school shooting and 77 minutes from the 911 call to until they took him out. 77 minutes. How are anybody who was a cop in there still a cop?
It's because it's its own government employment. It's its own version of welfare.
Yep. And why is the school administration from 2022 basically unchanged?
Government is government is government all day long, wherever you go.
Yeah, I've been looking a bit like okay, the school administration 2022. Who were they married to? Do I find politicians? Do I find cops? Because there is one of these unholy alliances.
Oh, there's always that. There's always incestuous.
Yeah, cops marry teachers, and politicians' wives becomes school board members and stuff like that. So I have looked into it a bit, and it's what you more or less could see that there are, but maybe not that obvious. But it will be interesting because after the trial, or if there is a break in the trial, I will go more into it because everybody's been focusing a lot about on the cops who were there, and in my opinion, not enough what the actual F was going on with the school board and school administration. So I think I will try to do a special episode about the school administration, and I understand why, because nobody wants to blame the teachers who were shot at. Nobody wants to, and neither do I. I really don't want to. There has been some information.
You can want to be reluctant to do it, but that doesn't mean that if you find out they're responsible, that they get a pass.
Exactly, and nobody wants to. But if you find information that says, "Holy crap," more people needs to know about this. So, but I will wait until after the trial because I think this trial has revealed a whole lot that wasn't known to the general public or ignored by the general public. So if I give you 2 minutes to summarize your opinions about the Uvalde response, what would you say?
It was absolutely pathetic. I mean, the first guys that went in, there was like one or two detectives or somebody from one of the police departments. They actually tried to engage him. They got engaged, and one of the guys got hit and wounded, and it looked really bad. And then the way I understand it, and it's been a little while, then the police chief, Arredondo, said like, "Oh, we're turning this into a hostage situation." And they refused to really go after it, which no, they got to go after it, and fucked around and fucked around and fucked around. And then you see the videos of them trying to keep people away and keep people away. And then 77 minutes later, the border patrol agents come screaming in out of like from 100 miles away, show up and realize it's time to get to work, and they go in and take care of it. I mean, that's really kind of the rough thing there. But no, this really lays squarely at the feet of people like Arredondo. You know, they chicken shitted it out. Like, you have guns in body armor to go do things to bad people. at times. And if you don't want to do that, go fucking do something else. Now, this guy, I don't know what he did or what his role in this was.
Adrian Gonzalez was the first person on scene. He was not the first person who got the call to go out there, but he was the first to get there.
Was he there when there was shooting already or no?
Yes.
So he pulls up. Does the guy already in the school shooting or no?
Nope.
So he's killed his grandma and is walking through town, right? At this point where he comes into play?
Yeah. I have 3 clips. One of them is the timeline according to the prosecution.
Okay.
And which has some interesting things to it. And I will explain to you as we go along. Let's see here. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. So let's start with, let's see here how to make it bigger. No, maybe. Yeah.
You can make it full screen. You can open it up in the player.
There. Boom.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, from this angle, we will be able to see everything.
Okay.
Now, in the trial, the state was allowed to play this timeline with audio from the scene.
In their opening? Wow.
No, this is not opening. This is from day 9. They didn't actually play this on opening. The opening statement was 12 minutes of everybody think of the children.
Oh.
Very, very emotional.
It's a very effective.
Oh, it's very, very effective. And so far in the trial, 9 days, we have heard from 1 cop at the scene, 7 from Texas Rangers who collected evidence, 1 child psychologist,
okay,
2 from the response training, 2 different response training courses, one that Adrian took and one that Adrian didn't take, and 6 or 7 teachers and a bunch of parents so far. And up until now, they have shown pictures of dead and injured children to the jury, and pictures from the crime scene with the spent shell casings while the scene is still fresh, so to speak, but the kids weren't there. So it's been a lot of images in the trial so far. So, but let's play here. This is.
So that's Gonzalez pulling up.
Nope, that is the.
That's the shooter. Okay.
Yeah, who they don't reference him by name. Now he first crashed into the culvert. There's a culvert here, or drain. Yeah. And soon out of the funeral home here, people run out to see, okay, what's going on? You have the time here.
Well, that definitely breaks the boredom of a funeral.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Here comes 2 from the funeral home.
Okay.
They have called 911 at this point.
They just think a car crashed.
Yeah. For some odd reason, the 911 call isn't played with this. Strange.
I think they might just say, oh, somebody got in a wreck. Can you please send help? If it helped the defense, they would have played it.
Oh, yeah. The school shooter, we crashed. He was trying to get out.
Think about if you've been in a car accident. Sometimes it's like you're trying to get your bearings together.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying, did he really sit there this long? It's like, yeah, it takes
So 2 people from the funeral home and 1 person from somewhere over here.
Okay.
Here you see they are running away. They are being
Something
shot.
happened.
Yeah, they are being shot at.
Yes.
Yeah. For some odd reason, this is in the 911 call with commentary from the pastor who is also running the funeral home, who is relaying this information. Yeah, who's relaying the funeral home, relaying to dispatch. Hey, this is going on. They didn't play this in this timeline. Until now. But we know he fired shots before that because they said so in the 911 call.
Okay.
And also there is a very, very grainy camera. There are 2 cameras on the funeral home, which shows a bit of this. And every shot the shooter fires is marked with an X, a red X.
Okay.
So they are frantically running away, telling the dispatcher, he's firing at us, he's firing at us.
Did this guy testify yet?
The pastor has testified.
So somebody's saying they haven't presented their case yet. Yeah, but if I'm the defense, I would bring up, did you call 911? Yeah, is this your call? Boom.
Yeah.
So waiting till later, I don't know why you'd wait. But anyways.
No, I think pastor testified on day 2.
Okay. So he's running across the yard.
Yeah, now he's climbing the fence, and this is relayed from the pastor roughly what he's doing.
Okay.
And here he's also saying to dispatch soon, oh my God, he is running toward the school. Those poor children.
Jeez. Somebody foreshadowed that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the prosecution has still not presented what dispatch told the officers.
Okay.
Because there seems to be some discrepancy on what was relayed to them and what was told to the officers responding. Now him walking is caught on the video cam. Very, very grainy. It's just a shadow you see walking. We know over here he shot 4 times because there are 4 spent casings.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's having a slow walk according to the timeline.
Jeez, eventually he's going to get there. It's like waiting for the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, he threw a backpack over the fence and then jumped the fence. Soon he's going to turn into Usain Bolt.
Well, it's like Halo. His health meter got down and he had to let it recharge.
Exactly.
The car wreck hurt him.
And he turns into Usain Bolt and sprints.
Okay.
Yeah. Here comes Adrian Gonzalez.
Okay.
I want you to focus on where they put the shooter. They put him south of all the cars.
Okay.
The 2 callers, independently of each other, now says he is hiding and crouching between cars.
Okay.
And but in the timeline, according to the man who did the timeline, he could not verify this. So
he's somewhere in the parking lot. I think I'll yeah. Fair enough. Somewhere in the park.
Yeah, and he fires
at the cop.
No.
Where did he fire towards?
He only fired probably towards the school. Also, I will get to another fact which is interesting here.
Mm-hmm.
The X here is where they found the shell casing, and they put the shooter on top of the shell casing.
Well, actually, I'll ask this, Nick. Does the cop acknowledge hearing gunfire at this point?
No.
Okay. So that could have just been a spent casing that just fell out of his backpack or something.
Yeah. Well, according to the officer who made the timeline, you could hear gunshot. At this time in the recording.
Okay, so we don't actually know. We just found a shell casing on the ground.
Yeah.
But yes, presumably he shot, but nobody's heard the shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another.
Okay, yeah, those are shootings. Okay, yeah.
And you see how
he must have heard some because he's hauling ass across the yard.
Oh, we will get to it. We will get to it. Yeah. But as you can see, they put him on top of the shell casing, which means line of sight, right?
Roughly, yeah. Ooh. And real quick, those buildings behind it are also school buildings, right?
Yes. This is school building 4, where everything took place. These are also school buildings.
Yeah, I'm not. We're up here in the north. Your schools are generally one contiguous building because half of the year is deathly cold outside. So
yeah,
the thing they do in the south where you have campus to buildings is weird to me.
Yeah. Now, what? Something else that.
Here... So he drove right by or they're saying he drove right by the guy.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he didn't get shot at, which is weird.
Yeah, surprisingly, there are no gunshots on the car or anything. There are on the school building, and there is also somewhere here. There is what they claim is one of these. Yeah, a shot was fired, and here's the mark of it on one of the walls.
Okay.
Now, what they didn't put in the timeline is Miss Flores, a teacher, a teacher's aide, who claims she ran out, believes she was shot at, and ran away from the shots. So she was here when Adrian drove in. So he is driving into where Miss Flores is at. Well, not on the timeline.
Sure, and I'll say it like this. If this happened the way they showed it, where he's like literally driving by while the dude's cranking off rounds.
Yeah.
And kind of just like boop, do 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 do. Okay, yeah, I got a problem here, but I can't imagine that's how this actually played out.
No, not according to testimony. Now, Miss Flores in herself is an issue because, according to her, Adrian Gonzalez was dressed in khaki shorts, white t-shirt, and had some kind of gun. Adrian Gonzalez was in. He had a full beard. Adrian Gonzalez was in full uniform and does not have a full beard.
Did he have a beard or any facial hair at the time this happened?
A little bit. The Hispanic facial.
The goatee. Okay.
Yeah. And remember, according to witnesses, the shooter is hiding between cars here. Should Adrian have heard and looked at it? Yes, but he is also seeing somebody running from the school building.
Yeah, but also because I don't know what's been established if he really did drive by everything, but if he's driven by everything, the idea he wouldn't hear the gunshots is a little like driving that close to him, he would have heard them. So I don't know. Like I said, this timeline is.
Yeah, but also
this whole thing is weird to me.
Yeah, but also when you see on the video, you can you can see he's driving at normal speed there, which seems, according to this timeline, is slower than when he did the Usain Bolt dash over here.
Oh yeah, and so he drove at normal speed. They're alleging. I'm just gonna say because you think normally when they're rolling in, they're gonna be hauling ass to show up there. So
yeah, so
but I'm just saying some of this doesn't add up because if he would have, there's no way he wouldn't have been able to hear it. Also, do these cars have dash cams?
I don't think his car had it. He's a school resource officer, and he was dispatched on the high school about a mile away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer.
At least they haven't shown his dash cam. I can say that much. So if that is an active choice and that the defense will be forced to play it, I don't know. But no dash cam from Adrian.
No body cams or dash cams. Bummer. Okay.
No. So there are some discrepancies here. First of all, the testimony from two individuals. He is hiding, crouching between cars. Also in the 911 call, oh my God, he's running towards the school, which would prompt, you would think, dispatch to say, gunman running towards the school. We haven't heard that from dispatch relaying that. And interestingly, only one officer was actually dispatched there to the original accident, who was at the station about a mile away, let's see, this way. He still hasn't shown up. Just saying. This is Adrian, because since this was on the public radio or the cop radio, he decided to drive there. And saw the Miss Flores down here, running and falling down. Now, he didn't know it was Miss Flores.
Yeah, he sees somebody running.
Yeah.
So he actually goes to the spot, but the timeline of him going to the spot was a little...
Yeah. A little off.
Okay. Do we know where these shots he's taken are going right now?
Into the school classroom.
He's shooting into the school. Okay, so we know where those shots are going. Okay.
Yeah, but again, Sean, you have fired a gun before, right? Yeah. How far does a shell casing
from an AR-15? Oh, it could go, 5 feet away. I mean, it's not going to go like 20 feet, but you could go anywhere from like 5 feet to like close by.
Yeah, and
so
this is
in the general area,
and this is concrete asphalt.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna bounce around, but it's not like it's gonna roll 100 yards.
No, I agree with you. And
also cutting loose with an AR-15. If you guys haven't done it without ear protection on, it is loud.
Yeah,
it is loud, especially on the other end. Like when you're out in front of it or up to the side of it, and you're past the muzzle. It is loud.
Oh yeah. I remember it from the military, and there's a big reason why you kids nowadays, when training, have ear protection.
Yes.
Back in the 80s, we didn't.
No.
And yeah. So with the shell casings and the testimony, why would the timeline producer put him on top of the shell casing?
I mean, he's gonna be roughly in that area.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Also, you're doing this from 1,000-foot view. It looks like so 5 feet at 1,000 feet is gonna be. I'm more worried about the timing, not necessarily the positioning.
Yeah. Now, according to Miss Flores, because you see here they have him standing absolutely still. According to Miss Flores, she is frantically screaming at Mr. Gonzalez says, I have this hysterical woman, because they showed his video interview. He hasn't testified.
Yeah.
This frantic woman screaming at him.
As they tend to be.
Yeah. Because she believes she's been shot at. And now, according to her testimony, they are having a discussion where she points out he is right there. That is my experience of hysterical victims is they are not very detailed. And they waited a week to interview her while she was away to family watching the news. Just an interesting fact, but just the fact that they didn't put her here. They only have Adrian here standing still, despite Miss Flores saying he was pacing back and forth. Almost as if he was trying to determine where the fuck does the shots coming from, because if he is on this side of the building, shots is from the echo. How do you do it?
Well, more importantly, it's not even an echo, but if he's on the other side of the building shooting, I mean, you're just going to hear thud, 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 which it could be in front of any of these buildings at that point. Like, it's, you're obstructed.
Yeah. Now,
so it's not even an echo issue. It's just...
According to the prosecution and the alert training, he should run towards the danger, because he is supposed to know this is a school shooting.
Did a roll up and it's weird. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, Travis, I agree. Each gun ejects differently, but like the pattern of firearm, if your AR-15 is shooting brass more than 5 or 6 feet away, you're way overgassed and you got a lot of problems there. Traditionally, you can predict someone's location from where the stuff lands to a reasonable certainty.
Yeah, I mean, I would say within 5 to 10 feet.
Yeah, but now I guess the biggest problem is we don't even know the timeline is correct right now, and I'm sure the defense are going to bring up their own timeline.
According to the guy who made this timeline, he clocked it with 911 call, even though we still haven't heard it, from cameras with audio at the school. But we still haven't seen if those times are correct. So what he has done is more or less, as he tried to explain it, within approximately.
I know, but this doesn't make any sense because it literally means he drove by the guy as he's cranking off rounds, which is impossible.
Yeah.
And where does he go? I don't know where you go.
Yeah. My educated guess is that as he drove, because she testified she thought she was shot at, that's the first shot we heard when he was up here. Then he sees her running there. And they have him on this slow pace right by. My guess is
he started hauling ass.
He's hauling ass down there.
Yeah.
Because this camera up here is so grainy, you only see shadows. So I would say that between the first and the few others, he got from there and he's already down here. That is my guess, at least. Hey, Ben, they're doing that.
And I'm very sus about that. And I'm not expecting, I don't expect the police to be perfect, but like the guys inside when they all just sat around grabbing their dicks, inexcusable. But I don't know what he did here that's a problem.
No, because he's only charged with from he stopped until the gunman entered the school. And it's a 1 minute and 4 second time. That's what he's charged with neglect and endangering.
They're not charging him for going because part of the active shooter stuff is you're supposed to go hunting.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to wait around. They didn't charge him for not going in. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just
because as I believe it, at least, since the outside door that should have been locked wasn't, they can only charge him for what he did or didn't do up until he entered the school. So I think that's a legal matter.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's
I forgot about the door thing, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kylie, I agree that's an oversimplification.
Yeah.
But the idea is you don't just sit there and do what those guys did in the hallway.
Now, the alert training says gunning for it. At the same time, the cop training says wait for backup. So you have this conflicting, and since we still don't know what went out from dispatch to the officers, according to Miss Flores, they are shooting at them. Is it then a possible school shooting at that time? Or is this a situation where, because he's also hiding behind his car at times, pacing back and forth, according to the witness. And even in his own interview, that is what he says. That.
Yeah, is this a school shooting or is this a shooting at a school?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like, yeah.
And right here is when that is Adrian calling in shots fired.
Okay. He's calling it in, all right.
Yeah.
He still doesn't know where it's at.
Yeah, which is amazingly quite some time. Now here's the shots. And according to the timeline, he doesn't call it in. Well, that might be him reaching for his microphone.
He calls it in right away.
Yeah.
I don't know how much faster you can call it in.
Here comes the next set of cops. 3 cars.
Yeah.
3 cops. One has a rifle.
Surprised in Texas they all don't.
See how they don't show how they leave the cars? Why they did that with Adrian? They are hiding behind these 2 cars. One has a rifle and about now, the guy with the rifle calls in. I think I see him. Should I take the shot? He doesn't get a reply until the shooter is inside the school.
Yeah, but those guys, and yes, there's oversimplifications of things, but the idea that calling for backup, like basically the police these guys received was garbage training because we can't wait for years and years and years now. Like the longer this goes on every time, but these guys all kind of these guys are beating their meat worse than Adrian Gonzalez is at this point.
Yeah, because in my personal opinion, now I've all checked this via Google Maps. This is about 100 yards. That cop has a fucking rifle. Now they said, but he only has an iron sight. Well, so fucking what? It's 100 yards. You can hit center mass at 100 yards. Now, of course, the guy is moving. Sure. You can fire more than once.
Well, I will say there's this website this guy used to follow. He was an older guy. He did some shootings. Like he would shoot stuff and he would document things. He had a pretty funny website. He was funny about it. And he said, when he says we're setting this up at 100 yards, he would then take a picture of the target 100 yards away. And he says, just so remember, here's what 100 yards looks like. And I know that, but I mean, it's the idea of a man-sized target at 100 yards is not like.
No, it's not that. I mean, it's like shooting at an inch on 20 yards.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, making that shot and it's 100 yards, and if you miss, it's going right into the school. I can understand them not taking that.
Yeah.
And it's not he's shooting at them, and he's not actually in the process of shooting into the school, so they still don't understand. Is this a school shooting, or is this happen to be a guy with a gun shooting at the school?
Yeah.
And also the 100 yards from kneeling, I mean,
100 yards with the car as yeah.
Yeah, but you're doing it 100 yards. You're at a range. If you miss, you miss into the dirt.
Yeah, of course, I agree.
That target's not going to start shooting at you all of a sudden. You know, there's a lot into it, so it's
yeah,
when it's kicking off, it's a little different out there.
But between Adrian and these guys,
yeah,
and here's the interesting part: the person who made this animation, he's with the Texas Rangers. He is a crime scene investigator. His education is in accounting. This guy said, when asked by the defense, between the two of them, or between Adrian, who is behind the building with a handgun, and these guys, one with a rifle, who has the better opportunity to take him out? And he said Adrian.
Yeah,
because as they say, Adrian should have ran up to the corner of this building and at least distracted him.
If he knew where he was, I would agree.
Oh, wait!
But if he did not know where he was, I don't know where he's going to go.
I'm going to show you. Let's see here. Where is it? I'm going to show you a close-up of that corner. See this? Those are AC units. There's a chain-linked fence all up towards the corner. So if Adrian should have run up there, he has to go past and more or less be out in the open here.
There's a bunch of cars right there too. So
yeah, they could have ran past that. And
I'm just saying, if he knew where the guy was, yes, I would expect him to move and engage. But if he doesn't know where he's at, I don't know what he's supposed to do.
But according to, because the defense asked this to the guy who with the animation, with echo, the person on the other side, would you have known where he was? And he says yes. And they ask, have you done it? Oh yeah, 5 or 6 times. This is a crime scene investigator and with a degree in accounting. Now he has been with law enforcement for 15, 20 years.
Yeah, of course he's going to say that. If he doesn't, he gets fired.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like the marijuana nose. Of course, of course you can smell it in your car from the car 20 yards away while you're driving.
Well, and also everybody thinks that they're going to be like Chuck Norris and Delta Force, and like it's going to be, he would know where to go and know how to do everything.
Yeah. Again.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Stand back, stand back.
Is that Gonzalez saying that?
No.
Was that Arredondo?
I believe so.
Okay.
And see, these 3 are still there. Line of sight. Now, this is not from when the shooting happened. Well, he actually put in the cars as they would have been on that day. So yeah, there are cars in the way. But here's the thing. Everybody says, according to training, which they hold Adrian to, they should be going towards him.
They all should.
Yeah. These guys have been still for 20, 25 seconds. You know what? I mean, you're in a car. Yes, a car is not the best.
Once again, your job is to go protect. Like, I know the cops don't have a legal ability to do it, but You're being paid.
Yeah.
To be there to stop bad things from happening. And right now, those are guys sitting there collecting money and not doing their job.
Yeah. So these
in
guys
Ohio, we call you a bum for that.
Yeah. Here, they are here. There is a gate open. They could drive all the way up here in less than 10 seconds.
And this is the front door. Is this the door, the back door of the school, or is this the front door?
It's the front door.
Okay, so he's like the front door. So yeah, there we go.
And here he enters the building. And one of the guys here, we affectionately call him Officer Waddler, because he is our size and he really can't run. So he's a waddler, which I can identify with. But he's the only officer so far in this trial, only officer on site so far this trial that has testified. Everybody else are Texas Rangers who came there much later.
Okay.
Or the day after to collect stuff. And folks, by the way, if you're sensitive, this part here will be it's bad. It's bad because the cameras in the hallway have audio. And you see, now he's been in the school. They are still fucking around. Adrian,
more importantly, they haven't called it out that he went into the school yet.
Nope. And Adrian is still preoccupied with Miss Flores. See that guy over there? That's the guy who was first dispatched to the accident over here. Now, they did give him the wrong address. But he's up there. You would assume he hears everything on radio. He did not enter the school for 25 minutes. The guy who was first dispatched. First, it took him from the crash about 5 minutes to drive a mile from the precinct. Adrian was also a mile away. It took him less than 2. You see, though, yeah, these guys still haven't moved. And the shooter is now, yeah. Now they drive. Guess where they're driving?
Around the block. What a bunch of floppy pussies. Pussies. Didn't even bother to go, hey, let's check on the school.
They thought it was one of these bailouts, usual criminal. They thought he was going to run through the school.
That's not usually how that goes.
Well, according to their testimony, that is what they thought.
Well, yeah, because nobody wants to admit, wow, I was a big floppy vagina when it mattered. When the stage of history called their name.
Yeah. You would imagine they talked it through over here. We will go to the back of the school and won't cover the front just in case he doesn't run back out.
Yeah.
No, let's all go to the other side.
Like I said, they were looking, run to the store to buy tampons.
And just a reminder, Agent is only charged with what happened from when he entered the scene.
Yeah, but at this point, he's still the only guy that's in the game right now.
Yeah, preoccupied with this.
Yeah, I don't see how he's. I don't see how he's guilty of anything at this point. I really don't.
And for you who are new to this, inside room 111 and 112, they found 116 spent shell casings. And here's what I don't, from a technical standpoint, how come nobody outside is hearing the shots from inside the school? He's not calling it. Well, he already said shots fired about 2 minutes ago, and somebody repeated it a minute ago. This isn't called in, and I don't know how well soundproof the school is, but you would assume.
Well, even Gonzalez, I think, would have heard them at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Either way, it's, it's only, I don't understand.
Yeah, and they still have him doing nothing. Despite testimony from Miss Flores, he is pacing back and forth. And she was talking to him for 2 to 7 minutes.
I don't see how that's. I don't see. That's why I was confused. Like when I asked you, when you said on Dolly Stream, I'm like, what did he do?
Yeah.
Or not do? And you're like, oh, he's the first guy there. I'm like, well, that doesn't tell me much, but okay. No, but if that's really it, that's nothing.
Oh, and the classroom doors are also supposed to be locked. Here's a thing I don't think you know. It's been revealed during this trial that the school administration handed out magnets to disable these locks so they wouldn't have to use the keys all the time. And some of if it came in a new teacher, they didn't get them a key immediately, so they handed out these magnets to disable the fucking locks. There's not a school administrator on trial. Now, could this shooter, if he really wanted to get inside the school, he would have gotten himself inside the school. But a locked
they have to make
door,
it
yeah, you don't have to make it easier.
And so honestly, it's just like the shooting up in Michigan, where they didn't check the kid's backpack and they thought he was, he was so dangerous, but they're like, oh, whatever.
And then they had a deal with the state to, we won't prosecute you if you testify against the parents.
Yeah.
Yes. So these guys are now running here, shouting at teachers to stop peeking out of doors.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, both these have now one of these have a body cam. It's still not activated. He had it up here because they don't put when they come to the scene, they don't activate it because it has bad battery time. It's for fuck's sake.
How old's that body cam? Like, I worry about the battery.
Right there.
So they are running / waddling over here.
Yeah, somehow he ran in the one door and he's already run all the way through the school already.
Yeah. And here comes, I can't remember who this is, but he drives because he sees Gonzalez down here.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So he drives to.
He's going to show up and say, where does this all happen? And Gonzalez is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Oh, look at that. Thank you. It's my birthday today. Thank you for introducing me to a potential criminal. I will check him out later. Do so. He is great.
Yeah, well, it actually is, Yes, it is General Lee's birthday today.
Yeah. Oh, this feels inappropriate. But happy birthday.
It's a bit of a contention in the South. For a long time in the South, they didn't celebrate MLK Day. It was still considered Robert E. Lee Day. So, also, hi,
Uncle. Yeah, okay, Robert E. Lee.
You guys aren't worried about
it.
Yeah,
no, I get it. Now I get it. Okay.
Also, happy birthday, Kay.
Yeah. Sean and I have been doing law for quite some time. I believe we have close to 60 years combined. So at some point you get incentivized or decentivized, sadly. I mean, once you see a guy dying from quicklime, other stuff gets less gruesome.
Yes. But anyways,
yeah.
Kay,
but
happy birthday, and also hi, Runkle is here too.
Hey, Runkle is here. What? Did you see Runkle?
Yeah.
Hey, Runkle.
So at this point, I still don't, and I understand the cop in the back is this guy showing up doesn't know where to go. So he's like, "Hey, I see my friend. I'm gonna go say hi to my where's my friend at? Like, and maybe we could figure this out."
And thank you for
But those guys watched him run inside the school and they run around the block. What a bunch of pusses.
Yeah. So he drives down there according to the maker of this animation. We don't know because they haven't shown any video, not from the camera, when he actually arrived. Now he discovers, hey, I might turn my body cam on. Somewhere in this straight here, because we can see a lady in a t-shirt wearing pink peeking out of the fucking classroom door, and they are yelling at her, "Get back in!" Now you see them two going towards, because now, oh shit, because now he's firing out from the classroom.
And now they can figure it out. Okay. And now they know. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, be careful! You might be in that building! Okay. Uvalde, they're saying that he's possibly in the building on the...
That is one of these guys calling it in. Possibly in the building. And you see Gonzalez and the other person first in.
They're stacking up, yeah.
Yeah. Now, that, for some reason, the maker there are now more cops at scene. Because we know there are people going inside from the other side. But for some odd reason, he didn't show this. That is them yelling at the teachers peeking out of classroom. Because
there's nothing else,
multiple teachers says, "Oh, what's going on? Let's ignore our training and open the fucking door."
Well, yeah. Yeah, they...
Go, go, go!
Laying on Diaz Street. Diaz. The one female shot in the head.
Shots fired inside the building,
What I have to point out, which is really sad, is it's been 2 minutes since the shooter
got in the building.
Well, no, it's more than that, but 3 minutes since he entered the building, and 2 minutes after he entered room 111 and 112 and fired 116 shots. So sadly, when they made this entry, it was already too late.
For most of them, but not all of them.
For most of, yeah. Some kids
Survived for a while.
Survived for a while, but because they waited for an additional fucking hour, they died. And I believe, and here's the thing: there is one more whose trial starts later this year. It's the police chief. He's only charged with endangering of 10 children, the injured children who survived. Explain that to me. Yeah. I don't know. I
got nothing.
Yeah, and still nobody from the school, and to my knowledge, there's no fundamental investigation done with who approved of the magnets and leaving doors unlocked. And why aren't they on trial? They are now they are now localized. Okay, he's in there. Now they are treating this as a barricade. He's barricaded himself.
Which is not what they're supposed to do.
No. Okay, see, Chief is shot with 10 because 19 died before he was on scene. Yeah, but he was still on radio before that. He's the chief.
But I don't think he would be able to say he could, until if he wasn't there to see it, he doesn't know necessarily what he's looking at.
Yeah.
But either way, he's, these guys are in there. They need to go do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And two are taking cover. These are the two who came in after. Two are there. There are people here now.
Yeah.
Now they are being shot at through the door and classroom wall. Two officers are getting injured.
That's the one I probably know of.
One who was grazed in the head, and one who was shot in the. He did a Trump and got shot in the ear. So pure fucking luck.
Yeah,
inches away from two dead cops.
Yeah, and those guys bowing out of the fight, I'm not going to give them shit for that. I get it.
Yeah,
but then the rest of these guys, like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to hang out here and hold my corner. Like, no.
Not everybody here had full body armor.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they got body armor. They're wearing body armor. If it's not meant to protect a rifle, like you have the choice of carrying that stuff, and also number two, you want me to give you a pension. You want legal protections. You want the right to. You want me to concede to you the monopoly of violence.
Yeah,
I expect you to do your job when the time comes.
Yeah. There was another school shooting where they took out the person within minutes. You could see the guy showing up at scene, out of car, open trunk, body armor on, rifle, and then gunned it in. And 2 minutes later, the school shooter was dead.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking do it.
Yes. Yes.
Here, Adrian's closest chief gives him the order, go out and call for SWAT. Somewhere around here. That is Adrian, because apparently there's barely radio signal in
Oh
there.
yeah, I guarantee you wouldn't be able to get it. It's going to be a metal building and
Metal and concrete.
This much. Out of everybody at that scene as of right this second, who probably has trouble or should have trouble looking in the mirror every fucking morning, that guy's probably the one that shouldn't have it.
But that's
I'm sure he has trouble looking at the mirror every morning anyway.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't do anything. But the idea that the rest of these guys beating their meat and everything,
yeah,
they can have fun talking to the man in the glass.
Now you can see Adrian here for the next 10 minutes, because you can see it on all the next 6 minutes, I believe it is. He's shouting at teachers to get back inside the building. He's instructing cops who comes running, take cover. He's shooting out of the window. So that is what he's doing from here. While
I think that's fine. He's got to relay the information.
Yeah. While this guy, he's the waddler who was up here. He's the one with the body cam. Paces back and forth and takes a personal call. They're, but I believe.
Well, I hope it was important.
Oh yeah. But I believe.
Stay right there, guys.
And that was the end of the animation. And there are 3 things here that kind of infuriates me, and I think people can guess what it is. It is, let's go back. Oh, I really want Ian's. Oh, that's the guy who believes he has supersonic hearing and he would definitely charge in. He's the...
They're reaching about his auto insurance, his extended car warranty, yes.
Yeah, it's Trooper Dilbert. You have... One, they don't play the 911 call where they explicitly say he's hiding behind and between cars and he's running towards the school. God save the... please, God, the children. That is relayed. And then this, where they put him on top of the shell casings. He should be, because 5 to 10 feet to the north, he is in between cars, which is according to testimony. But they put him there to make the illusion to the jury that Adrian sees him. That is so I would actually say this is false, knowingly false, what they are doing here. And then also this, not putting in Miss Flores here. Because without Miss Flores, now the jury have heard from Miss Flores already, so they know she's there. But to not include her in the animation, to give the reason why he's driving down there instead of stopping up here. They make it seem as if he's just...
Hopefully the defense has their own animation.
Yeah, they have... The cross-examination of this guy was amazing. And it's still on, by the way. They cross-examined him for 1 hour and 15 minutes Friday.
It's on right now, okay.
Yeah, and they will continue to cross-examine him on Tuesday or tomorrow. And Ronkel, I see you're in the chat. What would you say about putting the shooter on top of the shell casing? This parking lot is either concrete or asphalt. But still, the shell casing will go 5 to 10 feet, which would put him between the cars. So it's this knowingly falsities from the state that infuriates me, because They have shown pictures of dead kids and injured kids. They have had teachers and parents on the stand. They are flaunting dead children to get a conviction or everything, but actually pointing out what did he do wrong. And the one thing they can say is he should have run towards the danger. Yeah, that's the alert training. But he still needs to identify where is the shots coming from. Because
there's you have to run towards danger, but where is the danger?
Yeah, because if he runs towards that corner, which is obstructed by, and I'll show, AC units and chain link fence, he has to run out here. Now, the shooter has a better line of sight of him than he of. Now, sure, should he have run anyways? Maybe. If he knew where.
That's what I mean. He doesn't know. Well, he doesn't.
The shooter could be up. The shooter could be up here.
But he doesn't know anything about where the guy's at. The other three did.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't know where to go. But even if he did, running into the parking lot, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, this guy up here with a rifle, because one of the arguments from the prosecution is he should have run up to this corner and fired at him, because at least he would have distracted him and it would have taken him longer to enter.
He doesn't know where the guy's at.
He doesn't know where the guy's at, and they don't. Neither of them take a shot.
Yeah,
even though they had a line of fucking sight. Yes, there are kids in the school. I understand why they don't.
Has anybody demonstrated how much line of sight they have?
No.
Okay, because I'm kind of curious with the cars there. What's it look like from street view?
Now, what we have is this, which should be the number of cars that were there that day. That's the teacher's parking lot, I believe. This is
elementary school. I don't think their kids are driving cars.
So you have the kids drop off is here and here. Oh. So this is, it's infuriating, because this guy, Agent, lost his job. He is a pariah in his society where he grew up and chose to live and chose to work. And the state's narrative against him has been going on for 2 years. And then here comes the trial. And we look at the evidence and going, what the actual F? What in the actual F is going on here? So it's so infuriating just to watch this happen. And now the next clip, I think you heard of this. The Brady violation, or in this case, it's a combined Brady and Morton violation. The Morton law is local for Texas. Morton is so Texas has a stronger protection than the Brady, because of Michael Morton, who was convicted of murder in the 1980s. He spent 25 years in prison until it was revealed that the prosecution at the time hid 2 witnesses who says it was not him, and they saw somebody else.
Well, actually, and Nick, hold on 1 second here. This, because I wanted to see this for myself, what those guys were looking at from all the way over there. And this is the Google Street View. So looking at this, that's not like I didn't know what their view was going to look like, but I mean, yeah, I get it. I'm standing on top of it's on top of the Google car from here, but the idea they couldn't, we didn't know what was going on. Bullshit, you didn't. They
stood there while he was shooting into classroom,
and then Adrian would have been way back there, around the corner.
Around the corner, yeah.
And he just boop 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 boop.
Yeah, with a frantic witness who believes she was shot at, maybe even shot.
Yeah, and he walks all the way down here and goes inside. Nice police work, boys. Nice police work.
Yeah. Also, let's see. Okay, he enters there at 1:33:01. Look at these cars.
Yeah, and they're all
30 seconds later.
Yeah,
and where do they go? All of them go to the backside. Not one.
They just go like this. They go.
Yeah, and then you have this fucker up here.
They just keep driving.
And this guy up there who was the person actually dispatched there.
Yep. Then they hang out right here. They drive all around the block.
Yeah.
What's it say on their sign? Oh, that's like maybe they're telling what they had for lunch.
Yeah,
and also and there's all the covered walkways and stuff. But yeah.
Now let's go to the door. But
actually, where was? Let's show the backside of. No, we can't go around there.
No.
So I thought we'd be able to see where. Yeah, actually, we can roughly see. Adrian would have been somewhere like here, probably.
A bit further up, I believe.
Yeah, but he's somewhere on this side of the building.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you could see shit. So.
Okay. Now let's go.
I just wanted to see that for myself so I can figure out what's going on.
No worries. And now I'm not going to play her testimony. I'm going to play the aftermath because this is interesting. Let's see here. Let's get better sound because, as per usual, the prosecution here is allergic to microphones.
Okay. Ms. Hale, you would agree with me in listening to the totality of your interview 4 days after that you never tell the ranger that you saw anybody that was dressed in black with long hair and a fire and a gun.
Correct.
You agree that you never told him that you saw dirt flying up on the playground?
Oh yeah. The the pooled camera crew was told, do not show people's faces. What do? They have boob shot. Every witness, boob shot.
They're following the rules. It's better than what happened at the Tyler Robinson thing where they zoomed down on the judge talking and they tried to like lip read.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
Yeah, and I believe I don't remember which trial it was where the camera crew decided to they are talking about the medical examiner. Let's watch the screen and publish that to the world. And hell no.
Exactly.
That was to you, I guess, putting two and two together, you felt like you were being shot at, which was your opinion.
Correct.
You never told the ranger any of this.
Yeah, this is just on the stand. All of a sudden, this witness says she also believes she was shot at and described the shooter. That is not Miss Flores. This is a completely different teacher on day one.
Yeah. What?
Which has never, some of the things never said in the first or second interview, but she did in December. She told the prosecution this, and they never relayed it to the defense.
Listening to
That's
that now.
important to know.
Right. And that was 4 days after it happened.
Correct.
And you would agree he gave you every opportunity to say everything that you remembered about what happened.
Yes.
And seeing the shooter and seeing somebody with a gun on your school would have been something that you would have told him at the time.
I would think so, yes.
In the dirt and you connecting that to their bullets being fired in your direction.
Yes.
Okay. So the question I have is, when you talked to the prosecutor on those incidents, did you tell them those details about seeing the person in black and with long black hair or with long hair and a firearm? And did you tell them about seeing dirt being kicked up at the playground?
I believe so, yes.
All right, Your Honor. And so based on that, we have never gotten any notice from the prosecution. And that is clearly an inconsistent statement with the statement that she did. The prosecution has never provided us. This is clear under Brady. It's clear under Michael Morton that if this is the first time that I'm hearing of this in a trial of this magnitude is when she testified on the stand about it. And so if she did report these things to the prosecution, we were entitled to that to prepare for this. And this is a trial by ambush.
Okay, response?
We're checking to see if it is indeed part of the grand jury testimony that turned over to them.
Okay.
Oh, they know what she said and they know what they told. That is such garbage. They know what they did.
Oh yeah. But before we play the rest, thank you to K. Schmidt for gifting 5 memberships. EWW Raptor, thank you so much for 5 memberships. Robert E. Lee, 5 memberships. Really, a Catman gifted 5 memberships. And
You should be thrilled that the you're getting all this from the great general.
I am.
The general of the army in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, my colleagues in the union here in Sweden will be overjoyed if they ever find out that I am supported by a Southern general. Oh. No, I don't think. Sean has not seen the opening. I don't think it would add that much.
It's provided in the transcript. Yes. It's provided in the transcript that we provided to them on what's 134.
And yes, we do know that the judge looks like the old man neighbor from Home Alone.
He does?
Here's the part that talks about the extension cord.
I agree that she said that before. I do not see in the grand. I do see in the grand jury. The grand jury
Is that the
transcript,
defense
there was
attorney
talk
right
about
there?
third class.
Is this big guy the defense attorney talking or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's put ourselves over here instead.
Okay.
So it's easier to see. Yeah, so they concluded, yeah, she did say in the grand jury, she added this information that the man she saw was wearing all black and had long hair, which was not what she said in the original interview a year before.
Around the kids, I do not see where she described seeing a shooter, seeing a person with a gun matching the description of the shooter. And apparently she told the prosecution that before trial. I mean, Judge, that's an incredibly important detail that I'm finding out about now in front of the jury.
Yeah, somehow this is discussed in front of the witness. I don't understand why she wasn't.
While she's on the stand? Wow.
Yeah. I was screaming it. Get her the F out of there.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because now what happened later is the judge denied the mistrial, of course, but the court, but according to, if he denies mistrial through Brady, he has to exclude her testimony through Morton. But the defense said, we want an opportunity to get the toothpaste back into the tube and unring the bell by cross-examining her about her inconsistencies. But having her understand why they are discussing this, let's just say I had the notion she changed her testimony a bit since she already knew what was going to happen.
And how's that Brady or exculpatory, Your Honor?
Well, it's like insanely different. What I want to say is it is 180 degrees different than her prior testimony to the grand jury and her prior statement to the ranger. And it is of a matter of such importance because it has placed the gunman on the south side at the same place where my client was, where he responded to and where he went to. And so if this witness has told, and I understand witnesses testify, they remember things differently, but when the prosecution hears something that the witnesses remember differently than anything that we have, it's their obligation to provide that to us, because that would be what could be used for impeachment.
But we provided with the grand jury testimony that added up to her, whether or not it was a man in black, they've already stipulated that there's a man in black that was there.
I agree, but not at that location at that time. And this is a man dressed all in black, not just all in black, with long hair and a firearm and a gun.
Like there was more than one man in black and a gun.
But that's
South End of Rondo Elementary.
The prosecution, I'm sure, is not trying to intentionally miss the point, which I'm sure that the court understands my point, which is
A bit of shade in the middle of it.
No, there's no reason not to at this point, especially you throw it if you can. Get your digs in when you can get them. So
yeah, definitely. Because it is quite important that this witness, who previously haven't said this, at this point in time, putting the shooter at a certain location. Because the defense says they are on the second where the shooter is, where the shell casings are, what happened, where Adrian was. And all of a sudden they show up with this witness who suddenly alters that a bit. And also bolsters another witness who says the same thing. And you really don't want witnesses testifying and bolstering each other.
yeah.
Well, the prosecution wants it, but they kind of need to tell the defense that they have it.
it's not about who did the shooting. Of course, we all agree with that, but at what time, when and where and how, and what teachers had identified a shooter or had seen a shooter on campus?
Well, the location is pretty important, Mr. Turner. Do we have anything that you show in your notes? You turn that over to them?
About the man in black, no, Your Honor, I don't.
Specifically the location at that particular time?
Well, I guess the idea is the witness has testified that she told the state. Does the state acknowledge to the court that they were told that?
I believe so. Sorry.
And that was the witness trying to save the prosecution. She's still on the fucking stand.
Yeah, I still don't understand that the defense should have said something there too about that, but
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
This is a fucking disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
You know, the thing about it is that this woman was initially interviewed, in a very traumatic event. So there's going to be things that she remembers, for as time goes on. But I agree with Mr. Turner. That's not
It's a good lie. I give her credit. That's a good excuse.
Yeah. Here she comes to save the day.
She tried.
Yeah.
When saying to them, hey, there's a shooter, all black with a long rifle, is not information that they didn't already have throughout this case.
In opening statement, they said that Melody Flores said the man that was in all black.
The witness is not Melody Flores. It is Miss Hale, another teacher. That's kind of important. Jesus.
She got the gun wrong. So this is
And I
not
think his
new
complaint
information.
is more to the location of the man in black in relationship to where his client was.
I don't think she said anything about where his client was, first of all.
She put it.
Second of all, I think the testimony will be that Melody Flores saw in the same spot that this woman has said it was. There's no new testimony there. There's no new evidence. There's nothing different than what they already know.
She never told us that the specific location that she saw him, about that south end of the door. She never told us that.
Yeah. But that doesn't really matter if she claims she saw him south of the door.
Mm-hmm.
That the location is fucking important, not at what time he was there, if he was there at all, because if they can get a witness to put him south of that corner, all of a sudden he's in line of sight of Adrian.
Okay. So what are you asking for?
Well, can I have a moment?
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, just me a little bit to talk to you.
Judge, can I have a moment to fix this problem?
Yes.
Oh yeah. The person who made that interview in December with this witness when this new information allegedly came forward is the female prosecutor. Sean, how often have you seen an officer of the court being sworn in to testify?
Very rarely. Just generally when things are not going well.
And
there's a presumption you're under oath and you have an obligation to tell the truth regardless of provide candor to the court. So yeah, that's not a good sign. The last time I saw that was the Carrie Morrissey.
Yep.
Yeah, Baldwin trial, which she voluntarily like, I want to fix this.
Yeah, and it didn't go that well. Let's see if this goes well.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, you'd raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the evidence in the testimony given the cause will be the truth, self you got?
Yes.
Mr. Turner, we can just do it from council table if nobody objects. Go ahead.
Thank you. Were you there and conducted an interview with Stephanie Head?
Yes. The trial preparation.
And did you take notes as a part of that?
Yes.
Do you have any notes as to Ms. Hale telling the prosecution where?
I hope the
No, she told us there was a
fucking
man in
witness is off the stand at this point.
No, I believe they had
if she's still sitting there, God Almighty.
I'm not sure.
That's malpractice on the defense attorney's part if that's not been fixed.
When she looked, she saw a man in black with a long rifle, but she didn't tell us that he was specifically at that location at the south end on the sidewalk. She did say.
Thank you. And I'd also call Mr. Garza, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, pass the witness.
Yep, but clarify for me, what was in the grand jury testimony that you did disclose?
That there was dirt flying up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Question.
Ms. Mitchell, the notes that you're referring to, on what date was that interview done?
I have to go back to my calendar. It was sometime in mid-December.
Nick, have they asked for many mistrials yet in this?
Once, but I also believe they have one outside the presence of the camera. At least
they should already be going for it here, and I don't think they've done it yet.
They did ask for mistrial according to Brady in this situation. They didn't get the mistrial. They got the Michael Morton to exclude the witness, but they also got the opportunity to first try to unring the bell by cross-examining the witness.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to fix this.
And then after that, the judge excluded the testimony in its whole.
Christmas.
Of 2025?
Yes.
Were you the only prosecutor present at that interview?
No, it was me, Mr. Garza, and Mr. Turner.
All right. And you were conducting the interview?
No, Mr. Turner was.
And in that interview, the witness that we're referring to told you she saw a man dressed in black with long hair and a long rifle.
Right.
All right. And you noted that she had never said that before at the time that she said that.
I didn't note that. Just
Well,
we're prepping her, so I can't say that I specifically noted that.
but I mean, you, in just the preparation, you would have noted that a fact like that an additional person seeing the shooter at the time before the shooter entered the building outside, you would have noted that as a significant fact. You would agree with that?
I would say that he was seen by several people. So one other witness saying they saw him, such as Ms. Flores, or, was part of that.
All right, but I guess what I'm saying is that whether or not he was seen, you understand and know that not only is location important, but time is important. Where the shooter is at a certain time, you note that is an important detail.
That is an important detail, but I wouldn't say that I was, at the time, had dissected the time frame with her to the point that it was so significant that it stood out to me.
Well, and I guess that you'd also understand that different witnesses at different points in time, viewing a shooter in different locations, all of those things are important details as to know not just where the person was, but when in time the person was. And different witnesses will provide different times, right?
Right.
You understand that as a concept.
Right, I understand that.
And I'm not talking down to you, I'm just trying to make sure that, I know you understand it. I just want to make sure that it's clear on the record. And so, because this focus on whether or not she talked about the location, if that's the first time that she ever said location, and it just happened to be the location in trial that is where our client was, and now she's put the shooter on the south side of the building on the sidewalk, looking like he's going into the building on the south side in trial today.
Yeah, so this witness put the shooter where there's no shell casings, no other witnesses, putting him, let's see here, let's show it. This witness would put him on the south end, in clear sight of Adrian, which is something she has never said before.
Yeah, that's not a that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
Are you saying
I
she
don't-
never said that to you before? In your notes?
Okay, were you asking me two different questions, like seeing him there versus seeing him specifically on the sidewalk? The term "the sidewalk" today caught me off guard because I had never heard that before.
Had you ever heard her say that she had seen him either going into the south side of the building or approaching the south door?
No,
Did she ever tell you that he was on the south side of the building?
no.
So nothing.
So not only did the witness say something new in the interview in prep, she added on another new thing on the stand. That's
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
That is a witness who
Is this the one that Judge strikes all the way, but says like, "Oh, your story was so brave and inspiring, and we're so sad for you." Is this that person?
he told the witness reluctantly, "I have to strike your testimony."
Well, that's because he's trying to say, "Look, it's not your fault."
Mm.
I understand him being a politician there, but
Yeah, but then again, sort of, because she's been more or less encouraged since the prosecution never told her, hey, wait a minute. This is completely new. Are you absolutely sure you're not adding on stuff now? and then not disclosing it to the defense. I mean, there's so much wrong with this prosecution. And Sean, do you think it gets better or worse in the next coming minutes for the pro?
I kind of have an idea, but I'm assuming not better.
In your notes now.
No, it's not.
Okay, so here's my question. At a time when you're talking to a witness and for the first time they're telling you that they saw the shooter, neither prosecutor or anyone in the room thought to ask her, where did you see the shooter? That wasn't a question that came up in anybody's mind to ask her where the shooter was?
You know, you're getting very nitpicky. Let me tell you something. When we were prepping these witnesses, I was
You're getting very nitpicky?
Yeah. Well, that's all you could say there. It's like, that's not fair. That's not what I meant.
That's the wrong fucking answer, miss.
That's all you got. That's all you got there.
Yeah, you're under oath. You're testifying to the judge, and you get on a absolutely perfect. Oh, you saw him? Where? Perfectly natural follow-up question. You know what? You're very nitpicky.
running a law office, and so I was in and out of interviews.
Oh yeah, blame that you were running a law office at the same time, so you didn't think of it.
I don't give a shit. Your job is to handle your job, lady. Handle your business.
So I can't say that she said that and I like, oh my God. You know, it wasn't that type of reaction for me. So that's the best I can say.
I guess I know, but as a person present in the interview, I mean, this is who.
What I can say is today when she said that he was on the south end, I was surprised. That's what I can say.
Oh my God, Becky.
Oh, when she said that on the stand, I was surprised. Oh, really? And not a single person on the prosecution's table reacted and said, oh, Judge, can we have a sidebar? Something happened. No, they just went on.
Well, that is not the biggest problem, in my opinion. No. But well, whether or not they jump up, I mean, I get that. But yes, the rest of it is very telling.
Yeah.
And we were too. Or that she saw him at all. But you were not surprised, though, when she testified that she had seen him.
No, because she said that she had seen him. She said that during trial prep.
And so
what she had seen is a guy with long hair with a gun.
And so you understand, with all the information that you provided us, and that your office provided us in discovery, you understand how we would be surprised that she testified that she saw him.
No, because I would assume that y'all knew that, given everything, given all the information that's been provided to y'all.
Yeah, blame the defense for not being psychic.
Yeah. No, it is you who should have known what was going on. It's like, okay, well.
Y'all would know that he's, the testimony, the evidence is that he's on that south end of that building shooting into room 102, right? And so if he's at 102, that's the
right, get it?
Yeah. Here's the problem. There really isn't any evidence of that because witnesses puts him between cars to the west of the building, not to the south of the building. So no, miss, there's not actual evidence. Why? Because shell casings go to the right, 5 to 10 feet. Oh, let's say 5 feet. Yeah, that still puts him between cars. But if you recall, where in the animation, where did they put him? South of the cars.
Oh, I agree. This doesn't.
And without any shred of evidence telling the person making the animation that the shooter actually was there. Out of convenience, he put him on top of the shell casings to make it seem to the jury in the animation that he was in line of sight of Adrian. How do you tell when the prosecution has a very, very weak case? They cheat.
room on that end, on that south end, then somebody's gonna see him, because there's casings from that room.
But somebody is going to see him versus a person in a particular place at a particular time saw him has a lot of relative, it's a whole different thing. You would agree with that? That's why I was asking that question. Place and time are both important considerations when we're talking about Adrian Gonzalez's conduct. What he saw, what he could see, what he could know, what others knew. Those are all important considerations.
But we already have
Absolutely
other
ridiculous.
witnesses that say that he was, that the shooter was seen at the south end of the building.
Right, and
We
you
have
would,
other witnesses.
okay, and so,
So I didn't think that that would be a surprise to y'all.
well, let me ask you this. So you say you have other witnesses that will say that. And now you have provided, you would agree, you have provided a witness that will corroborate those other witnesses, right? And make those other witnesses seem more credible instead of their testimony standing alone. Right?
Right.
Okay. And so that would be an important thing for us to know before we started this trial. And to know when you knew it. You would agree with him.
I would agree that that was already known, that was out there.
Well, I'm not,
I don't understand why it's a surprise to you.
because you
Yes.
didn't report it when she told you that. That's why, because you didn't turn it over when she told you that, and it was something she had never said before. And I think you will agree with me that has not been turned over by your office in any shape or form before.
Well, I would agree with you that I so asked you to come to my office and review our file. That was on the.
Yeah, lady.
And come review our file does not count as Brady compliance.
Yeah. Hey, come over. No. You hand it over. The defense actually has no obligation to entertain. You get over here unless the judge says it's okay. Yeah. So she blames the defense for not being psychic.
Record. I said, I want y'all to come look through our complete file to make sure that you have everything. And that was agreed to, but then I was never contacted. So I did make our file available on the record before trial.
And you understand the prosecutor's obligation is not on the defense. The prosecutor's obligation
Now, I
belongs solely
understand
to
that,
the
but I wanted to
prosecution.
make sure that this is tons of evidence. I wanted to make sure y'all had everything, made our discovery portal available, we gave y'all a server. I wanted to make sure y'all had everything. So I did make that available.
I'll pass the witness.
Yeah. Well, everything with this witness, she was cross-examined quite well, I must say. Ending in, judge sent out the jury, told this witness, it's not your fault. Reluctantly, I have to strike your testimony due to this Morton violation. And the defense, of course, said, we will not relinquish our right to have this as an appellate issue because we believe it's a mistrial. The judge approved of it. So they still have this as an appellate issue should Adrian be convicted. Now let's see what I believe.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Now the third and final clip is the psychologist witness testifying as an expert on PTSD. And let's see if anybody agrees with me that this should have been motion for mistrial as well. I hope this is the one at least.
Speak up so everybody can hear you, please. You may proceed.
Good morning.
Morning.
Would you tell the jury who you are?
Hi, my name is Dr. Sherry Hotmeyer. I'm from Uvalde.
And Dr. Hotmeyer, where do you work in Uvalde?
Currently, I work at Uvalde Medical Surgical Associates, which is an outpatient clinic that's adjoined to the hospital.
And when you say adjoined to the hospital, does that just mean you have a business relationship, or is it also physically adjoined to the hospital?
And another boob
The
shot
building is
because
right next
I still understand why this witness gets to hide.
me neither. But the judge, it's more or less those who wants to can, but not cops.
That should be illegal unless it's a juvenile.
Yeah. In another situation, another trial that's not about dead kids, I would say go right ahead, but now it just seems inappropriate. And why don't they show the lawyers asking questions? Why the boob shot? But that's not the issue of mistrial.
The main hospital, it's also owned by the hospital.
And tell us what your credentials are.
I'm a doctor of osteopathic medicine, which is essentially, there's allopathic and osteopathic. We do the, same training, but we do a little bit more in musculoskeletal.
In what?
Musculoskeletal.
Muscular and skeletal?
Mhm.
Okay. And when did you get your education?
I completed medical school in 2011, from 2007 to 2011.
Wait a minute. Am I showing the right witness?
I'm not sure. It doesn't sound like 100%. So.
No, you're not.
No, I don't think this. Shit.
That's okay. He's disorganized. He's like the prosecutor.
Maybe it's this witness.
And explain to the jury what these triggers do. How do they?
Oh, yeah. This might be the one.
Children's Advocacy Center.
And what is your job position there?
I'm a licensed professional counselor.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
where did you?
Sorry, I misspoke. She's not a psychiatrist. She's not a therapist. She's a counselor. She has a degree in counseling.
Sounded a lot more impressive when she was testifying initially.
You have a college at?
Texas State University and then Sul Ross University.
And you got your bachelor's degree from Texas State?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that in?
Education.
And what did you get from Sul Ross University?
Master's of Education and Counseling.
Okay. And did you previously work for the Uvalde Independent School District?
Yes.
And what did you work as?
I was a teacher.
Was that before you obtained your master's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you a licensed professional counselor?
Yes, ma'am, through the state of Texas.
Okay. And are you licensed by the Texas Board of Professional Counselors?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're current on your licensing?
Yes, ma'am.
At this point, Your Honor, the state would tender Jennifer Habey as an expert in post-traumatic stress disorder counseling.
We're not in federal court. I don't know that the court can do that, but
I didn't know in Texas that this voir dire, they have to that they don't have to acknowledge expertise in Texas.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Everywhere's different.
Yeah,
That's the one thing.
That caught me a bit off guard. But she's allowed to testify since she works with PTSD victims.
That's weird. But
yeah. But she's a counselor.
Yep.
but I will.
Any questions on?
That's not the.
Yeah, as a voir dire, I will say that I will agree that she is good at what she does and that she has every right to testify about what she did.
All right.
Yeah, so the defense says she can testify about what she did and what she do as this counselor.
Yeah, that's still.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a PTSD expert, I would assume you actually have somebody who has all the degrees for it. And all, yeah. Even though people who work with PTSD victims are highly qualified, it's kind of different between counseling a PTSD victim and knowing all about PTSD. Let's just say that. Hey, Dave. Sean loves looking at chess all day, but he was hoping for a match. So, yes, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
So we will clarify that she is a counselor, school counselor, and she works with people with PTSD.
Nick, I need to take this. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But then I'll have to wait a bit because I want Sean to be able to see this as it is. Yeah, I know it's a bit of foreshadowing. I know. I can't show that, Erica, on screen. Yes, quick. Now is our time to shit talk potentially criminal. Oh, let's see. Did I have any questions I can ask meanwhile? Counselor is the same as therapist. Sort of, yes. Depends on where you are. I try to see the differences between counselor and therapist. It's basically the same. Let's just say that. But she has a degree as a counselor, not a therapist. Focus. Let's see here. Yeah, thank you, Tree. This is doctor, not PTSD. Yeah, thank you. I discovered it was the wrong doctor. Yes, in the interest of equality, let's have a chest cam of our own here. If I can find somewhere to lodge this in. Yeah, come on. Got a degree as a data pattern specialist. Trauma is a pattern. I'm qualified too. Yeah, definitely. In Canton PD, in Atlanta, it is enough to be an expert if you watch a movie about PTSD. To be, according to the prosecution at least, referencing when they acknowledged a person as a gang expert after watching a video and then working as a cop. He was then acknowledged on the stand as a gang expert. Edward Scott, you people who think this is all a big mistake highly underestimate how much prosecutors know they can get away with anything as long as they play dumb. Yeah, that is a huge. They feign ignorance, and the judge then can say it was not intentional. And that is pissing me off because we see it in almost every trial. Almost every trial. Boob cam is somewhat difficult, yes. Oh, Kitnitz. I'm currently in grad school to be a therapist in the States. It's a master's degree in mental health counseling. It's probably different elsewhere, but here it's interchangeable. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see here. Can I find any more questions? Really a cat man. I maintain it was probably incompetence. Her disdain for attention to detail seems real. She just expects being lazy to work because it's probably worked in the past. Yeah, sometimes it's weaponized incompetence and weaponized ignorance. Sometimes when it comes to prosecution getting away with absolute jack shit stuff. And which allows the courts to say, well, it wasn't intentional. It was just weaponized incompetence. Indiana's basically an expert qualification. Oh, yeah. Basically, an expert qualifications are also interesting. He's feigning as a prison guard. I see it all the time. Yeah, Indiana has this weird thing where I think Mo explains it better than me because she's been talking about it a bit more. Recognized experience. And apparently that includes prison guards saying that prisoners are not really mentally ill, they're just feigning. For me, that is, well, first of all, that is speaking in interest, in self-interest. So it shouldn't be allowed anyways. Because as in the case in Indiana, prison guards has an absolute interest in saying that inmates are feigning mental disease or mental illnesses. Because if they don't argue feigning, they have to act on the mentally ill's episode, which they don't. Okay, Nick, back to jury notes. They take notes but can't use them in deliberations. How do they get to take any use of them once evidence closes? According to this judge, it is to help remember at the time. But they can't bring it in because if they compare notes, then they don't really compare memory. And they are supposed, at least according to the judge, they are supposed to remember all the evidence and discuss it via they are supposed to remember this via memory alone. Personally, I think it's stupid. Because notes are memory. Sean is taking a whole lot of time. Yeah, people's memory are worse than they think. So really, it's a recipe for the jury to just misremember and stuff. Yeah, for instance, in this very trial, the Miss Flores testimony, she swore that in the first interview that Adrian Gonzalez was wearing khaki shorts and a white t-shirt and had a full beard. He was in full uniform and did not have a beard. So, but that's understandable. Absolutely understandable, because she was frantic, even though she claims she wasn't. And she misremembers things. Loving the Hulk shirt. Yeah, it has a text down here. Let's see. I would like to flex, but I like this t-shirt. Potential criminal on the phone to Wilma. Oh. Notes aren't necessarily any better than memory, but to the average note taker, in my opinion, someone trained might be different. Dun, dun, dun. All right, added a line about notes being memory to my notes that I use as a replacement for memory. Let's see here. Mexican Vader, hello. What's this? The state cheating when they have unlimited resources and a blank check to go along with it. Say it ain't so. Yeah. Yeah. Will she be permitted to testify during Arredondo's trial? Well, I bet she will, because that will be disclosed to his defense and will be subject to cross-examination. So for Arredondo's trial, that's really damning. But then again, he wasn't at scene and is only charged with the surviving victims. Let's see here. Do I have more questions while we wait for Sean? Oh, Travis Williamson, Esquire. Only know a little about system in Sweden. Criminal cases are heard by panel of judges and lay judges. Yeah. Law judges are elected. How large is panel? I had to... Okay, Swedish system. In lower courts, you have one actual judge and a panel of 4 what we call layman judges. Layman judges are appointed through the political parties in Sweden. They get a brief education in the technicalities about our court system, and then they are put to work. They get about 1 to 5 cases per month for a 4-year period. In appeals court, there is the panel is all judges, and also in the Supreme Court, there are also all judges. And the biggest difference between Swedish or European and the American system is that here we don't have double jeopardy. So if the prosecution isn't happy with an acquittal, they can appeal the acquittal. Hi, Sean.
Hi.
In order for equality, I'm doing a boob shot as well.
Oh, well. I'm going to stick with the more enjoyable ones myself, so I think you'll understand.
Yeah, I do. Let's put the camera back up here. Yeah. And as per usual, takes a while to. Oh, come on. There. All right. Let's keep listening to this therapist and see if Sean will agree with me.
Ms. Havey, can you, where are you currently employed at?
Right now, Blue Bonnet Children's Advocacy Center.
Okay, and for the jury and for the record, can you explain what the Blue Bonnet Children's Advocacy Center is?
Yes, it gives a safe place for children to come and talk about their trauma, abuse, and then through that, it's so the child doesn't have to say things over and over again. They say it one time to an interviewer, and through that, officers, medical, CPS all work together through the investigation, and then they offer mental health services to the child, for the child.
So at the Children's Advocacy Center, you deal with clients, patients who suffer abuse or trauma of some sort.
Yes.
Okay. And through that, have you provided counseling to some of the survivors in this case?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, and for the record, those medical records and counseling records have already been admitted into evidence, okay? So what I want you to do though is, can you explain to the jury what is post-traumatic stress disorder?
PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It is ongoing stress after the traumatic event.
And how does that manifest itself? What are the symptoms of PTSD?
It can manifest itself in many ways, through the body, through headaches, stomach aches, nausea, as well as not wanting to leave your home or not being able to leave your home, socially, trust with others.
And we call that disassociation.
Dissociation.
Is that what's called? Okay. And do you also see children with anxiety and depression that are suffering from PTSD?
Both, yes.
Okay. And are these considered a disorder?
Yes.
Or an impairment of some sort?
Disorder, yes.
Okay. And what are the different ways that these are explained through children with PTSD? In other words, do they express it through like guilt, or how does that work?
Through PTSD. Can you repeat your question? Just so I'm answering it.
Right. Well, if they have PTSD, do they also have maybe other impairments?
Yes. I apologize. Yes, usually with PTSD, anxiety comes as well with it, hand in hand, only because the stress, your body becomes alert, hyper alert, and stress rises, and that brings on anxiety.
Okay. Do you know what survivor's guilt is?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain that to the jury?
Yes, it's when a survivor feels guilty for living.
This is not what I believe. That has nothing to. But that's a very, very vague explanation of survivor's guilt. Yeah, they feel guilty for surviving. I would assume a person with education and training in PTSD and stuff like that would have a more technical term, because in other ways, you're just saying, yeah, survivor's guilt with 4 more words. Okay, what's the underlying issue here? Stuff like that. That is what I at least expect a person who is testifying about PTSD and survivor's guilt to get that explanation.
And have you seen that through some of your patients through their counseling?
That's me.
Now, what is a triggering event?
It's when something happens that escalates anxiety in their body. It's when you're triggered by something and it brings you back to whatever traumatic event they had.
Is it a sensation that stimulates the nervous system?
Yes.
And is it a biological response in a child?
Yes.
And can you explain that?
It's an automatic response of your body. It's not something that's they think of. It's protection. It's dissociation, it's protection.
And what can be a triggering event in a child with PTSD?
I've seen many things that trigger children right now. I'm seeing helicopters, loud noises, trigger children, colors.
What colors?
Red.
Why red?
It's the color of blood.
Okay. And explain to the jury what these triggers do. What do they do in a child physically that they're called triggering events? What do they do?
Some children, when triggered, they might cry. Their heart might race. They might get under a table and not want to leave. They might want to hold someone's hand for safety.
Okay. What is this
I'm
accomplishing?
trying to go through so many of them.
What do these triggering events take the child back?
What does this
trauma
do?
that suffered?
Yes.
This is a part of the state's case saying the children who survived are still hurting. Please convict him.
I mean, like they were either they were endangered or they weren't at the time.
Yeah.
That's the endangerment.
Yeah.
Okay. And is the child able to differentiate between where they are now versus the traumatic event?
Not always. It brings them back to the event, and their brain believes, or their brain is saying, no, this is happening, although they know obviously it's not happening over and over again, but they believe it is. Their body feels it as if it's happening.
Now, what type of techniques do you use in providing treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder?
So I work with children and adolescents with PTSD, and we use sensory boxes, art, breathing techniques.
I'm going to need a traumatic
Reframing.
counselor after listening to this.
Like rewriting or rethinking.
Do they take the kids shooting as a recuperative activity?
Narrative, oral.
We take them to the range. They learn how to disassemble an
AR-15. And reprocessing.
We play Ready or Not.
Okay.
That is evidence-based treatment.
And can you explain to the jury what that is and how it works?
Sure. It's bilateral stimulation of the brain, which It's used to reprocess the trauma they've had.
Nick, I needed.
So,
Somebody just called. I gotta call them
although-
back real quick. Give me 1 second here.
yeah, give an
Sorry.
example.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries.
It's Martin Luther King Day, but everybody's problems still exist. So
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry, chat.
No, folks, we will soon get to the part where let's just see Sean's reaction to it when it happens. Let's see if we got GD. I have PTSD and CPTSD since 8 or 9 years old. This woman isn't explaining it very well. This is the person they chose to put on the stand. But I agree, her explanations, she's being led by leash by the prosecution to her answers. And after I understand why, but at the time I was, what's going on here? Kylie here says, they're big about the red thing, but it was dark in those rooms and had likely dried to that burgundy by the time they evac. Yeah, maybe. But when they came into the... Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know. Hey, it's Ariel. The experience of psychological distress due to surviving or escaping a situation relatively unharmed or unaffected. Yes, that is survivor's guilt. Why me? Sometimes you see it in surviving spouses at old age. I was supposed to go first. I know that for my grandmother, after my mother passed away, she had huge survivor's guilt because it was supposed to be me, not her. The thing about you should never, and this is crucial in this case as well, you should never be the one, you should never bury your children. You should never bury your children. It's unnatural to be forced to bury your child. Even if your child is an adult, that's not the way it's supposed to go. Kitnit's question from prosecutor: what is a trigger? Answer: these are the things they want when triggered. Okay, yeah, she repeats the question from the prosecution. So it's more like the prosecution here is testifying by dragging out the answers from this witness. But soon, I believe, you will discover why they chose this line of questioning with this witness. Of all the channels I watch, I had to choose this one. I'm being Nick picky. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. My chat is Nick picky. Oh, all right. Let's continue here. Yeah, let's continue here.
All righty.
Although they know the trauma has already passed, after EMDR, and bilateral stimulation just means back and forth with the brain. After EMDR, then they're able to talk about the trauma and it doesn't affect them as much. So their nervous system is a little de-escalated, I should say.
Okay. And what are the things you do with that? I mean, what specific techniques do you use?
So you can use this eye movement. So you can use a light bar where they follow the light back and forth. Or with my age, we use a lot of tappers.
No, have trauma because you know also the light bar, the police who didn't save them.
That's bilateral stimulation of the brain.
I just don't take. I can't take any of this seriously right now. With what's happened, we know that's happened.
CBT
trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy. It is for children and adolescents to, at their own pace, walk through their trauma with coping skills, narratives, and so forth.
Now, is post-traumatic stress disorder, is that something that can be eventually treated, and or how does that work?
Treated, yes. Both TFCBT and EMDR are both evidence-based for PTSD for children and adolescents. So PTSD can be treated, yes. People do heal from PTSD, although it is always ongoing. And when I say that, that sounds kind of backwards, but what I'm saying is it does not affect them as much, because our goal, or my goal as a therapist or a therapist, would be that they're able to hopefully function day to day in their living, live a healthier day than they did the day of the trauma, right? Making progress.
Is there a permanent brain injury associated with PTSD?
Yes.
And again, you treated some of the survivors in room 112, is that right? Pass the witness, John.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. ABT,
Yes.
my name is Jason Goss. I'm one of the attorneys for Adrian. And, I want to start out by saying thank you. I mean, I know it's difficult even for treaters and providers, because you're having to experience that with kids, right? So there's a secondary trauma that goes on with you as you're having to work through that.
Okay.
The fact you're able to do that is important. So thank you for that. I did want to talk, not necessarily, I know that we talked about, yes, you've treated some of the kids. Are they all confined to 111 and who were in 111 and 112? Or were there some other kids at Rob that day that have also come in for treatment?
I treat many kids from Rob.
So not necessarily even the ones that were in the room.
Not necessarily.
With the shooter. And that's because, and the point I'm trying to make with that is that's because you can get anybody that's involved in that situation can have PTSD for that situation.
Yes.
Including the officers.
Yes.
Including the witnesses, the teachers, the adult. You would agree with that?
Anyone in a traumatic event.
Sure. And I guess and I didn't hear, I know you worked at well, I call it CAC, but a child advocacy center.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever do forensic interviews, or are you just the counseling side of that?
I'm the counseling side. So after the forensic interviewer, then the client is passed to me for therapy.
And it sounds like you have a lot of experience with PTSD and trauma and talking to people who have suffered trauma. So I want to ask you some questions about your understanding of the medicine and the science in your discipline, and as far as like what you have been able to learn about how people who experience trauma, I guess, relate and talk about it. Okay. So you would agree that like with the kids you've worked with adults you've worked with who has experienced that kind of trauma, the next day after that they're not 100% accurately recalling everything that's happened perfectly, because trauma affects memory and stress affects memory.
Trauma does affect memory.
It does, right? And you know that. And so asking somebody the next day who's gone through a situation like that, what happened, you might not get exactly what happened or exactly in the right order, or exactly in the right times, right? Because if they've gone through a stressful event like that has caused trauma, then their recall of that can be inaccurate. You would agree with that?
You might not. Every person's different.
Sure. And just so you know, I'm not talking about any of your kids or any of those kids at Rob. I'm not talking about any of their statements or anything about them. I'm using your experience to talk about, because there are other witnesses and other people that were at the scene who also kind of went through this. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the stress, the stress can be like it maybe you know, maybe you don't, but stress can cause things like auditory exclusion when it's happening. It can cause time compression when it's happening. Those kind of things
Tachycardia.
can happen as the person is witnessing an event if it's a high stress or traumatic event.
Yes, sir.
Right. And so sometimes they don't hear things that you would think that they hear. Sometimes they mix things up, like what order things were in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would agree with that because, and I don't know if you've had this experience, but even people who, somebody can be absolutely sure of something and then see a video that didn't happen the way they thought it happened, but in their mind, because of the way their memory has been kind of forged into trauma, in their mind it happened this way, even if there was evidence that they could see that it didn't happen that way. And that's because that's how people process in trauma. You would agree with that?
That's how trauma works.
Right. So, and that's all I'm trying to point out is that it is hard. It is hard with witnesses and other people to get sometimes accurate recounting if they've gone through a traumatic event.
As a therapist, I'm not there for accuracy. I'm there to work on their healing.
100%. But I think one of the things you do want them to do is process by, like you said, you use different techniques to process by remembering or recounting the trauma or going through and talking about their trauma. And like I said, it's not up to you, or you don't care whether they're accurate, but you don't care if they're accurate about what they're saying. You want them to process it therapeutically.
Correct.
Right. But your experience and understanding of how trauma works and how stress works on memory and recalling and recounting is really what I'm going to. Like, that it can affect those different things. It's a physiological effect that happens to people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I'll pass it. And thank you again.
No more questions, Judge, and she's excused.
What?
So did
Is this not the witness I was expecting? Because in my memory, this witness broke down on the stand. But maybe it was another witness. My apologies. The only time she did something when she grabbed it and had to go back a bit, but okay, so that
So the therapist broke down on stand?
Yeah. That was
that's a woman. Oh God, she revels in the trauma.
Yeah. That in my opinion.
Trauma's what she gets hot to then.
That in my opinion, if you have somebody presenting evidence as an expert on PTSD and then breaks down on stand.
Yeah. It's like
that's
how good her PTSD is. She's so good at it. She even catches it.
Yeah, in my opinion.
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. But does it reach the level of asking for a mistrial?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the prosecutor would have known this woman was a nutcase before they put her up there.
And
if they didn't, regardless, it's still on them.
Yeah.
She's not a lay witness. She's not some commoner. She's an expert. They hired her. They didn't do their due diligence. Like, at some point it's on them to figure that out. If they haven't figured it out, oh well.
Yeah. So in my opinion, you have two definite motions for mistrial in this. Well, the first one, the Brady. We've seen trials where that throws the case out. The Brady violation, because and in the Brady violation, the defense ex parte submitted their timeline defense to the judge, which the judge told the prosecutor, well, I can't discuss this with you, but this is so central where the shooter was at what time that, well, he still didn't make mistrial, but he excluded the witness under the Morton law. But then the defense as well, we will try to shove the shit back into the horse, but we still say it should have been a mistrial, because her account on she saw the shooter. Let's see here. Let's see. According to her, we have Miss Flores here, screaming, he's behind me, he's shooting at me. That's one witness. But you have then Miss Hale, who was in this general area but ran back in or something, saying he was south of the building and she thought he was going to enter this door.
Mm-hmm.
That was not disclosed to the defense, and yeah, that's kind of important because the entirety of the defense is he did not see him. But if they have a witness placing him without any shell casings or anything south of that building, he's in the line of sight, he's less than 20 yards away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of important. So those were the three things I wanted to show you: the timeline, the witness who was excluded, and then this expert witness breaking down on the stand. Now, I still agree with this was a clusterfuck.
Mm-hmm.
There are cops there who was at scene who should never be in uniform ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But is this guy really the one to prosecute?
No, I don't think so based on this. But like I said before, I had no idea. And I'm still not like, I don't know what he did wrong here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And
I don't know what he did wrong. There are certainly a bunch of cowardly cops in this situation. I can't say he's one of them.
Yeah.
I can't say he's one of them, but the ones inside the school, oh yeah, biggest bitches on the block.
Yeah. Yeah, these three cops who decided to drive around and not cover the front door. If one of them had driven up, Jesus Christ, he's inside there. Had that person drove up, opened the door to see where he is, he would have heard those first shots.
Oh yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah, and also, but in the middle of all this, the school administration approved or even encouraged to leave the doors unlocked. And none of them are on trial.
Oh, I agree that there should be a lot more of that.
Oh, and we had an outburst in the gallery as well. Relative to there was a parent who ran in and grabbed her kid and ran out again in the middle of this.
Oh, I'm aware of that story, which is just amazing.
Yeah,
craziness out of the whole thing. Like, good on that mom.
Yeah. Now, technically, she's
tried
lucky.
to arrest her.
Yeah, and technically, she's lucky. She could have been shot in there. She technically put her child in danger if that child was in a safe place in another side of the school.
Yeah, but I don't. At that point, it's like, a lot of those coulda, wouldas, but it's like, I don't blame her for putting in the work to do what she had to do on that one.
Yeah. I mean, if that was my kid in there and somebody tried to stop me, I don't know what I would have done. And I don't want to find out what I would have done. And the gallery outburst was from the sister, I believe, of the parent who ran in and grabbed the child. Because they were talking about this danger funnel, or because you have the corridor is this: if you enter that, you don't have protection, you don't have concealment, you have a gunman, you're in this funnel of danger, or what did they call it?
It's called the fatal funnel.
Yeah, fatal funnel.
That's just mainly in the doorway.
Yeah, which is something that the defense has brought up many times, that running into a fatal funnel is against training.
Yeah.
And he did it anyway. And then she screamed from the in front of the jury, of course, because that's how you do it. Screamed that more or less, screw the fatal funnel. My sister went in there in the fatal funnel, and and she was promptly escorted out. Yeah, farting funnel. Yeah.
Any of these trials, like, if you want to chimp out a trial, you can do that and risk your loved ones. Like, oh, well, now the case got dismissed. It's like, because it's your fault. Don't do that.
Yeah, do not have an outburst, but because that also in itself, depending on the severity, can cause a mistrial. Because it affects the jury, they can't unhear it, and but many courts say, well, it's enough with the jury instruction.
Well, that's a whole I have my own comments on that. So
you can't unring the bell, you can't shove the shit into the horse, you can't unfuck a clusterfuck. But those were the three things I wanted to show you. So you got a bit up to speed regarding how the state conducts this case. And to me, it is absolutely abhorrent that they, as Mo said, they are throwing dead kids around as if they have some higher form of morals, but they are really just re-traumatize parents, teachers, kids, the public, the jury, because they say, look at this guy, he should have done something. But as you say, I don't know what exactly he did wrong.
I don't think he did anything wrong. I could see here, specifically.
And I agree, but we are 9 days into this trial. It's still the state's case. They are now this week. They are going 8:30 to 4:30 or 5:30. So really a full day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Because they had to take a day off because of the mistrial thing.
Okay, and I mean, here I was thinking that, the judge has karate out in Virginia where she's like, oh, we're starting at 10 every day. It's like, like short court days.
Oh, yeah, it's you have Judge Penny on your case.
Yes.
Yeah, from the
Johnny Depp.
That you heard.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is she good?
Yeah, I think she's fine. She's navigating the trial the best she can. So
yeah,
I think she's fine.
Yeah, just before we end this, we have watched. Well, you have been a participation in many trials, and I watched over the past 3 years, 25, 30 trials. At what point does what I thought was an exception with bad prosecution? At what time does it becomes? Nah, that's how they do it.
I mean, at the end of the day, remember, they are, most attorneys are so-so. That's just like anything in life. How are most people at their jobs? Meh.
Yeah. Most of the time I say to myself, nah, I can't go over to the States and go through a 1 or 2 year and take the bar exam. And then sometimes you watch a trial and wonder, do they hand over that like stickers in a cornflakes packet? And then you hear about what's his face? Gingras?
Yes.
In the Laura Owens, and wonder, how is that guy breathing without actively thinking, breathe in, breathe out? And
yeah, but then you see
lawyer.
people like Yannetti and Jackson, and you're like, holy cow, I'm out of my element. So it goes both ways very quickly. Both ways very, very quickly. So,
yeah, definitely. But that's
kind of that's the back and forth on it.
Yeah, but this is the things I wanted to show you, so you got up to speed.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy it. I was very confused what this one was all about, and I heard about one of the witnesses getting struck, which all on its own was very weird too. Yeah. And then I think people are learning that, in Texas, and Ariel's bringing it up, in Texas, school districts can have their own police departments.
Yep.
So, like, every school district in the state can have its own police if they follow requirements. So, and it's funny because, like, the Texas School for the Blind has a police department. And it's funny because I've seen the picture of the police car. It's like, Texas School for the Blind, police. Like, it's very... it's a very weird thing out there that they can do that.
But if they have a school, Texas school police for the deaf, how will they know?
They flash the lights.
Yeah. They do it in Braille. No.
Yes.
It's, but okay. Yeah, folks. Glad to have Sean on. I see a lot of new people and people I haven't seen in a while. Where the fuck have you been? Okay, you've been at Sean's place. You've been at Sean's place.
And we're working on the Brandon Banfield trial, guys. If you want to come over and join me. And then obviously, as all this stuff is unfolding, as the United States starts to disintegrate over things, we've been covering all that too. So you can send you over there.
And
Half-Fire says, you didn't win me over. I didn't know on this one. I didn't know on this one. I just said I thought the one in Florida, he was a chicken shit. These ones, I didn't know about this guy. This guy, yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong, but a lot of the cops in Uvalde that day were the biggest pussies on the block.
Yeah. And as I said, once this trial is over, I'm going to look more into the school administration, who was on the school board. If I can find any written statements. But we have had a witness on the stand, a teacher saying that the magnets were issued by the school. Which is something that the defense have tried to extract from every teacher who's been on the stand, and everybody has been a bit vague about it for obvious reasons. But then, I believe it was Thursday or Friday, they had a teacher on the stand and said, no, we were issued them. And I was like, what the fuck? You were issued magnets to put into the door frame to make it not lock because it's a hassle to use the key. I am But that is what I had for you. I will be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Mo is going to do the afternoon streams as per usual. We are sharing this trial mainly because folks, the Uvalde, despite all the shenanigans from the prosecution, there's 19 dead kids, 2 dead teachers, 10 injured, and a lot of cops who should never be allowed to be cops again. I understand why not all want to see that trial. I understand it because it is heartbreaking. Me and Mo do our best to make the unbearable tolerable. But everybody go subscribe to Sean if you haven't yet. Are you streaming today?
Probably a little bit later tonight. We're going to go over the Supreme Court dealing with the trans sports case that they argued last week. Go through that probably around 7 or so.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to hand everybody over to Brother Counsel, who is doing the Richard Allen, the safekeeping order saga.
Oh, there we go. That'd be a good one. He's starting to get his way through that, and he is. It's nice to see that he's kind of on the same page as the rest of us.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good to have somebody from the outside because many of us, we've been there for quite a long time, and we might have tunnel vision on some of the things. So it's good to have his absolutely new perspective on things. So I'm going to send you guys over to his stream. But thank you, Sean.
Of course.
And thank you, guys. Thank you to Jefferson C. Post, Dave K. Schmidt, EDW Raptor, Robert E. Lee, really a cat man, and
General Robert E. Lee.
Oh, General Robert E. Lee. Yes, he's yeah. Thank you for supporting this channel, even of monetary reasons. It's always appreciated. And go look at all my videos. Daddy needs views. And yeah, folks, have a good one. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.